today I was going to do a short video on rescue animals and how to deal with rescue animals. One of the things is when you get the animal, you don't know about its past life. It might be two or three owners, like my dog's like two owners, I think at least, from where it was rescued from. But yesterday, when I fixed the gate and the fence, I picked up a big long stick and I went to throw it over the fence, and the dog saw the stick and took off. And you saw the fear in the dog's eyes. It was the stick, and what else was it? Something else. I think maybe I just threw something and I thudded it on the ground, and you could see the dog was scared. So I think the previous owner, two owners back, used to hit the dog with a stick. With our cat, the cat had never been in the house before ever. We put it in the kitchen. This is the Phantom, and the Phantom panicked, got terrified, and ran straight for the door, and then ran to where the hinges were, and scratched at the floor frantically trying to get out. And we were all staring at the cat thinking, why don't you just walk around the door and walk out? Because the door was open. And the cat had no idea how to get out. When I'm in the house and I turn my stereo up loud, the cat gets scared, and it doesn't do it anymore. It took about a few years, and the cat used to just go screaming out of the house or run to the door, and I'd be playing the music loud, forget about it, doing the housework. And then I'd turn around and look and see the cat at the door, like looking at me like, let me out, let me out. And the people who used to have the cat, I knew them, but I didn't know how they treated their animals. We ended up with 4 of their cats when they left. They had parties, and the cat was never allowed in the house. So when they had loud roaring parties, they would bang and people would yell and make a lot of noise. And they were actually neighbours of mine, and I used to hear it and I used to think, oh my gosh. And it was quite shocking. But the animal was scared. The cat was scared of their behaviour and used to hide under the house, obviously. And it took quite a while for the cat to realise that it lived here and not just there. It ended up trying to own both homes until new people moved in. It was quite funny. But the cat was scared of being in the house, didn't know how to navigate a house, had no idea, and it was a fully grown male cat. So he'd never been in a house, didn't know how to get in and out the doors, and was terrified of loud music. With the dog and the cat, they have 2 kind of modes. They have the fear mode, which is they haven't gotten over, but the cat has gotten over with the music now. So it shows that they can get over, like humans, what they fear. And I noticed 3 months ago, turning the stereo up and thinking, oh, the cat. And then I looked over and the cat's sitting there on the chair sleeping, just totally ignoring. And so I turned it up and let the bass thump, and the cat was fine. So the cat finally is over it and realizes that with me, loud music does not mean violence or parties or whatever they used to do it over there. So to the cat, what the cat feared had changed. And it associated loud music with bad things, so it figured that if I played it here, it was a bad thing to get out of the house. Yeah. So with the dog, it sticks, and so I would end up probably over the next year throwing a lot of sticks around. And when the dog realizes that none of these sticks are actually going to hit the dog here at this house, the trouble is you might turn around and toss a stick behind you and hit the dog, and we're like, oh no. The other thing was, I was when in the house, not used to having a dog in the house, and I stood on the dog's paw, and the dog looked at me like, you hurt me. And it shrunk away like this into a corner, like, you hurt me, you deliberately hurt me. And I stared at the dog and I said, oh no, jeez. So in some way, the dog was hurt. Okay, in some way, which I don't know, the dog was hurt and taken advantage of, abused or whatever. So when you have rescue animals, it pays to take notice and find out where it is that they've been hurt. Just like getting married. If I married a woman and she was in an abusive relationship, would she would have traits, things that she was scared of, and she would maybe even thought were normal, like with the cat and stuff. What do you want? What's the matter? Hey? Oh, and about the dog, you're wet. Where have you been? So yeah, about the dog and not the cat. So oh, so you have to put up with them, but you see they're fine, and yeah, don't twist. And so they have the particular things that they're scared of, and the particular things that they fear, and the particular things that they worry about. And our job is, since we take them from those situations, is to recognize what they fear, recognize what worries them, and then just teach them, because you're not going to go and punch it or anything. So they'll get to the stage, I think, like if I stood on her paw in about a year's time, she'll think, oh, you're still on my paw, instead of you hurt me. It just takes time and patience. And then these things disappear, and the animal changes, and the situation changes, and the relationship changes, and your animal isn't so disturbed. We'll put it as a little rat, that they are. So yeah, so that's the sort of thing that I've noticed with the cat and the dog. They both have these particular issues, and yeah, and you have to deal with them. The dog's putting me off because I have to look after the dog and give the dog a scratch. Just had a feed, you see. We didn't go for a run today. We normally go for a run round. We've been doing Waimate Place. She used to go walks to the lake, but she pulls too hard, and it's been hurting my back, twisting my hip. So we just go for a short run most days, and then we'll extend it as she learns how to heel, which we're working on at the moment. It's taken a little while to get it because she's an older. She's about 6 or 7 years old. So yeah, she's an old one. She's not a young one. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, rescue dogs, like rescue people, it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a positive outlook and observation. Yeah, observing what negatively affects them, and then like with the cat and the loud music, eventually over time, the cat decides that this music is nothing to be feared for like before. I think if it went under the balcony next door and a lot of people were partying on the balconies, there would have been boots and shoes scraping and banging, and there was all this laughter and drunkenness. So that's probably what scared the cat, was all that kind of behaviour, and that's what, yeah. So, yeah, yeah, so I gotta go. Okay, see you later. Have a good day.